I said from the fourth round that whoever won between Saints and Leeds I thought would go all the way, but Wakefield have an interesting draw with Wigan at home. I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Wakefield club, as have many of us at the minute, and John Keir's a tremendous bloke. I think to see Wakefield get there and John Keir take 3 teams to the Challenge Cup final and be victorious would be, for him personally, very, very good, and then for the Wakefield club, just something to make them smile in these troubled times.
It was a genuine thrill. I drove 4 hours to be here today, and I'm faced with 4 hours to go home, but it was worth every mile. It's the first time I've done anything like that, and I was delighted that the Air Force were involved and you could do it on an RAF base.
Hull Kingston Rovers, Sheffield Eagles.
Yeah, that's the first and foremost. You get it home, and then what comes out after that? Well, at this stage of the competition, you have to beat everybody if you're going to do well. So we're playing against Sheffield, so a bit of an unknown quantity a little bit for us, not in our division. But when we get time to playing them, we'll certainly know plenty about them.
Well, yeah, ever since I was young, I've been involved with Rugby League. My granddad Stan Wall was a referee when I was young. He then introduced me into Rugby League, and obviously followed that, and he's now the kit man at St Helens and has been at Great Britain.
Looking elsewhere then, Barry, Castleford have drawn Halifax. Terry Mattison's got them playing quite well in Super League. They face Halifax at home. What do you make of their overall chances?
Halifax are a very impressive team, but of course the advantage will always go, I believe, in the cup to the team that draws the home fixture. It's just an exciting concept. The Carnegie Challenge Cup has been around for years, and we look at the glitz and glamour of Super League. It's so exciting and so Americanised, if you like. But the Carnegie Challenge Cup is steeped with history and heritage, and the players love it.
What about overall the tournament? I know we're just looking ahead to the 5th round, but do you see anybody emerging as a real favourite to lift that famous trophy at Wembley?
I think Saints. I think you can't look any further. The performance on Sunday was outstanding, but who's to say that Catalan can't overcome a stubborn start? If you look at the start that Bradford made, I think everybody knows they should have gone on and won that well, but Catalan side that maybe is looking towards this Carnegie Challenge Cup to get their challenge for some silverware off to a good start.
Because Kevin Walters, I think, said off the back of the game, it's given them so much confidence, and that could be a factor, do you think?
I think so, and it's given them a bit of hope. I don't think their season's gone terribly well, and I think if Kevin Walters looks at the things he's trying to implement, it's taking some time. In the cup, you've only got one chance, and if you fall on that hurdle, then that's it, it's over.
And just overall, just finally, you've lifted the Challenge Cup at Wembley yourself with Leeds. It's a massive thing for any player's career. Can you put it into words what it feels like to do that on that famous sporting stage?
It's difficult to play at Wembley in front of a packed house on a balmy summer's day, knowing that you're going to get your hands on the most historic trophy in Rugby League is fantastic. And as I said, we've got some wonderful occasions in Rugby League. We've got the Grand Final, we've got the Challenge Cup Final, and we've got, of course, our international matches. Each one has its own merit, but, they're very special days at Wembley.
Well, it's a great privilege for us, especially for me being from a Rugby League background. The forces in the Rugby League world is not thought of as a hotbed of rugby, but since I've been in, I've seen a lot of very talented people, and this can only improve people within the Air Force.
Now, you tell us you're a Wigan fan as well, so what about that draw then, Wakefield? What do you reckon?
I think it's one of the tougher draws, but I'm glad it weren't Saints. I think they've got an opportunity to progress.
Fancy him to go all the way to Wembley like in the good old days?
Why not? Why not?
How do you view the Cup? Is it something you just prepare for in the same way you would as an engaged Super League game, or does it take a different form of preparation as the rounds come along?
I think as the rounds come along a little bit differently. Obviously it depends on the opposition. You're playing against a team that's in your division, you might want to take a little bit of a different approach. You may have shown your cards already throughout the season. You don't want to change things drastically during the week, but at the same time, you need to give it the respect that it deserves. It's a very simplistic competition. You win, you go through, you lose, you're out. So you sometimes might need to have a few more tricks in the back pocket, and also, rely on the things that you do very well. No point in going into a cup game experimenting. You need to go into a cup game knowing that, if you're under a little bit of stress and a little bit of pressure, you can fall back into what you do very well. So they're the slight variations in a normal league game and a cup game.
I take it for Hull KR the same as any club. Wembley holds a massive draw.
Oh, it's magical. It really is, and you know, being an Australian as well, it's something that we very much can relate to. Wembley, you know, used to get up in the middle of the night, you know, to watch Wembley Cup finals, and to go there. Just talking about it now gets me excited, you know. So it would be great to get there. It would be great to get there and win. I don't want to get there and lose. That make a long trip home from the nation's capital. But we've got to win some games before we get there. You know, the things are going to change. You know, injury lists are going to change, form's going to change, teams that you're going to play are going to change. So we're excited about it, and I think the fact, and I've said this before, the fact that there's no relegation, you don't have to prioritise league and cup anymore. If you're travelling all right in both, you know, you'll give the cup a real good crack because you've only got to win 5 games and you're there. So. In that regard, I think we'll see a lot more teams going for it, and you know, and that can add to the prestige of the competition.
What is the extent of rugby league in the RAF specifically? We know the combined services team won the Services World Cup last year, which was a tremendous achievement for the UK. Yep. But what about the RAF and rugby league?
Yeah, well, they do very well. When you consider the size of the Air Force compared to the Army, and indeed, obviously, the Navy are a little smaller than we are. But we have been inter-service champions for 3 of the last 5 years, which we're very proud of. We don't win many inter-service championships with the Army being as strong as they are. And the Rugby League Association is run by a bunch of real enthusiasts. I wish I had similar enthusiasts running all the sports. And the relationship they have with the own national governing body is excellent. I think it's one of the best things about Rugby League. And all of that coming together means that we have a very good standard of play on the actual pitch. So delighted.
And of course the RAF do participate in the Carnegie Challenge Cup on a yearly basis. Is that something very special for the players themselves and this branch of the services?
Without a doubt. It's up alongside the inter-services event itself. This is the big game for RAF Rugby League. This is the one they want to proceed. This is the one they want to win. And yes, it's a massive fixture every year. And our aspiration is to go further than we went this year. You know, we're going to keep pushing, and hopefully, when people, you know, youngsters out there see this sort of thing, they'll know that they can come and enjoy a career in the Air Force, but also play rugby league and play to a good standard.